Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Apopka High School welcomes you to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for the penultimate time of the 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge. It's game number 22 in the event, sponsored by St. Germain Chiropractic and Burn Vat Orlando, that pits the reputation of the Orlando Metro Conference and its 20 public high schools in Orange County against the best talent in the greater Central Florida area. Today we welcome as our guests, wearing the black jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard. From Leesburg High School, they are the Yellow Jackets. And wearing the white jerseys, home on the scoreboard, representing the Orlando Metro Conference, from Windermere High School, please welcome the Wolverines. Well, let's meet the teams. We'll begin with our guests from Leesburg, and we'll start with 6'4" senior number 1, DeAndre Sword. 5'10" junior number 3, Devin Graham. 6 foot senior number 15, Mike Floyd. 6'5" senior number 23, Jair McLeod. And finally for the Yellow Jackets, 6'3" senior number 25, Akeem Nickerson. And the head coach of the Jackets in his 8th year at Leesburg, Mr. Sean Campbell. And now let's meet the Windermere Wolverines. We'll start at forward with 6'6" junior number 1, Matt Richardson. At point guard, 5'11" junior number 3, William Held. At guard, 6'3" senior number 5, Daryl Armstrong. At guard, 5'11" junior number 10, Elliot York. And finally for the Wolverines, at point guard, 6'3" junior number 11, Trey Moss. The head coach of the Wolverines, an inaugural member of the Windermere staff in his 3rd year, Mr. Mark Grizik. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association. Here in Orlando, tonight's game, like all of our games at the Metro versus Florida Challenge, is being streamed live on YouTube. If you have friends and family back in Windermere, back in Leesburg, or anywhere in the world, you can send them to the YouTube app, search for Metro versus Florida Challenge, or you can go to metrovsfl.com for the direct links to our live web footage as well as our live stats. We had a technical foul occur during the warm-up, so we will not have a traditional jump ball. Instead, we'll have technical free throws that are shot by Windermere's number 10, Elliot York, and then the Wolverines will get possession. So, Neil, that's not something you see very often. Let me introduce myself first. Mark Barshey, the media director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief, ready to take you through our second to last game, game 22. And we had a dunk during the warm-up, which in high school is considered unsportsmanlike conduct, and therefore it's an automatic technical foul. It deprives you of an opportunity to play for the jump ball, and it gives the other team free throws to start the game.
Yeah, certainly a unique situation. And of course, sportsmanship is focused and emphasized quite a bit more at the high school level than in college or professional. Of course, again, the Metro versus Florida Challenge, and that means we have one team from the Metro Conference and one team from the Florida contingency in each game. This game, of course, Leesburg is the Florida contingency. And we're going to do a player profile here as we get underway.
Elliot York for 3 on the pass from Daryl Armstrong.
Yeah, Leesburg, of course, is another team. We've had a number of them, probably about 8 of them they consider anything less than making a deep run into the FHSAA postseason tournament and contending for the state championship to be a disappointing season. Last year they were 14-8. Normally that is pretty respectable. Most teams would be happy with that and feel that at least was somewhat successful. Not the case at Leesburg. They were a district semifinalist, so they did not advance to the FHSAA postseason tournament. 5-3 in their district, of course, as we have mentioned a number of times. And we got a miss here. 9. The amount of classifications have been reduced from 9 to 7. So
foul is called against Darrell Armstrong, his first, the team's first.
So everyone is now in a new district, and that district for Leesburg is 5A5. Of course, 2 seasons ago and 3 seasons ago, the Yellow Jackets were state championships. They have won the state championship. However, this year they have 5 returning varsity seniors, and 3 seniors. So again, something of a unusual situation for Leesburg, looking to find their feet. And this is the kind of game that you want to get into if you're looking to find your feet and kind of test and measure what you can and can't do. Traditionally,
basket by number 23, Jair McLeod for 3.
And traditionally, Leesburg has been a very fast pace. We've seen a number of teams throughout this event, fast pace, want to get up and down the court. Leesburg is probably at the top of their list as far as high octane explosiveness. Again, they don't just like to go up and down. They like to get up and down as quick as possible. A lot of these teams like to say they like to go up and down, which they do, but it is up and down within the context of at least stopping every now and then. Leesburg just does not stop for 32 minutes. On the other hand, we have Windermere. Of course, this is only their 3rd year. Mark Rizik was the man who was tabbed to open up the school. And, of course, Mark Rizik is another familiar name to high school basketball fans in Central Florida.
Second chance basket by DeAndre Seward.
Grizik was the first coach and started the program over at Olympia. I believe it was in their 5th season. He actually coached them all the way to the state championship final and then repeated the feat in the 6th year. So certainly the right man was chosen to start the program at Windermere, not only because of his experience, but his record since then.
Mike Floyd is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul is called against number 1, Matt Richardson, his first personal foul, and the team's second.
So Windermere has been open for 2 years. They've made the FHSAA postseason tournament both of those seasons. And last year they made it all the way to the state semifinals. So certainly a record of success, and included in that success is a 27-5 record, 6-1 in the district. Windermere is now part of 7A6, and they return six varsity players. The 2 you want to keep an eye out for is Trey Moss. He, of course, is in there. Great point guard. Very Isaiah Thomas-like for those of you who are in my age. And the other one is Kanye Jones, who did not start, but he is Florida Hoops class of 2021, number 32.
DeAndre Seward for 2.
So 4 minutes in here, and Leesburg, of course, up 7-4. Again, they like to shoot. They're a high volume quantity shooting team.
Have a seat till we have the shots. Hey, have a seat till we have the shots. Flag 3 on the hole.
Hold is called against Leesburg, number 15. Devin Graham is first, the team's second.
Black 3 on the hold. 10 to the line for 2.
You made that? You made that there?
Timeout, Windermere. 30-second timeout. 3:37 the first period.
30-second timeout requested by the Wolverines.
And again, Mark, both teams play man-to-man defense.
Floyd to McLeod for 3.
White 3.
Hold is called against William Held is first, the team's third.
Last 6 men on the court. All right, so that's a team technical.
Technical foul called on the Wolverines for having 6 on the court. It's on the bench. It doesn't count on any one person. It is still team foul, though.
Should be 12-6.
And 25 was my free throw shooter just now? Yeah, he made them both.
Get on the X. So they know you're coming in. That's why they didn't bring you in. Back 3.
Offensive charge is called against number 3, Devin Graham. His second. That was taken by William Held. And so, Neil, we've got I don't know, is it a full moon tonight? Or we've now had 2 bench technicals, one on each team, that you can go a whole season without seeing either one of those. And now we've seen them both in the same game.
Well, all I can say again, Mark, is none of these teams have played more than 2 games, so maybe that has something to do with it.
Hand check is called against Devani Nettles, his first, the team's fourth.
Already have 4 fouls too, Mark.
Well, yeah, that's the other consequence of those bench technicals, because they do count as team fouls, which is a difference between high school and the NBA. The FHSAA and the NFHS, who sets the rules for high school sports, want to emphasize the importance of playing a clean game.
Right, sportsmanship.
And I mean, 6 on the court is more of an administrative blunder than a sportsmanship issue, but still. Jair McLeod with a dunk for the Jackets. But nevertheless, the way that the technical foul system is set up is designed to maximize the punishment for those sorts of errors that are not actually part of the game. I touched the backboard equipment. That's the equivalent of out of bounds. Jackets ball. Checking into the game for Windermere, Trey Moss.
Nice over
DeAndre Seward is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The foul's called against Wolverines. Number 11, Trey Moss. That's his first, the team's 5th.
So again, another nice over-the-shoulder pass there, setting up this play. And DeAndre Seward at the line, as you said, Mark, he has 4 points, make that 5. First free throws.
Points left on the table there, Neil.
Yeah, could have gotten the lead all the way up to 10.
Steal by Nettles. A slide into first. Seward on the pass from Floyd for 2. More good passing, and it's McLeod from Nickerson for 2. Well, Neil, looks like Leesburg woke up. Not sure about Windermere yet.
So remember, we've talked about this throughout the event, at least the last couple of days. It's been a trend that one team comes out, looks like they're ready to play, know exactly what to do, the who, what, when, where. Build a lead of 10, 12 points, and then the other team rallies in the second quarter to at least make the game competitive.
Jaden Dildson makes a 3-point shot with an assist from Darrell Armstrong, and that takes us to the end of the first period. An unusual first period, but a 9-point ball game, 18-9. The Jackets lead the Wolverines at the end of our opening 8 minutes.
And turnovers are actually even at 4 apiece. So there, again, when you're shooting 58% compared to 15, you're certainly not going to win too many games. You're not going to be able to take a lead. And again, when you do get 58%, that means you're also shooting. You're getting a lot of open looks. You're moving the ball very well as well, too.
All right, so we're back to live action, and Windermere, hopefully Coach Grisick was able to inspire the Wolverines as they've seemed a little flat. I mean, again, credit to Leesburg. Leesburg is a powerful force every year, and this year looks like it's going to be no exception, but nevertheless, Windermere opening a little flat. That'll help, though. It's Trey Moss from William Held for 3.
So Windermere now actually is shooting the ball better. I believe they've opened up 2 of 4 here. Of course, when you're shooting 15%, you don't need to really make a lot of baskets to improve. But still, I could hear Coach Grisick yelling at his team between quarters that they just weren't moving.
Nickerson can't get it to go from under the basket. Wolverines will take the rebound, go to the other end, and there's Elliott York for 2. All right, well, Wolverines making a little progress here in the second quarter.
Yeah, cut the lead down to 9. And again, these are 2 teams that like to move up and down the court. Leesburg just does it with a far more intense atmosphere. It's more of a attacking style with force than Windermere. Windermere's more of a execute the fundamentals in transition.
Black 20.
Push is called against Jackets number 20, Damani Nettles. That's the second personal foul. The team's 5th.
White 1.
Fouls called against Wolverines number 1, Matt Richardson. That's his second personal foul. The team's 7th. At the line shooting 2, DeAndre Seward. Checking into the game for Leesburg, number 3, Devin Graham.
So Seward with 7 points now. 3 of 3 from the field. He's 1 of 3 from the line. 8 points for Seward, both free throws good. And leads back up to 10.
Nickerson on the rebound. 10-point ball game. Half the second quarter gone. We're going to take a long 3 from McLeod, and that is off the backboard equipment. That's the equivalent of out of bounds. Wolverines ball. Elliott York finds a way to the hoop for two.
Stop and go move there along with a scoop, using the bank well and shielding the ball with his body.
Nice block. Down to the other end in transition. No call for York. Number 23, John McLeod, coast to coast for two. We got a foul at the other end. Elliott York will go to the line and shoot two. The foul called against number 2, Aubrey Miller. That's his first personal foul. And the team's sixth. So, Neil, that means we're going to be shooting 1-1 both ways for the rest of this half.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 12 seconds. And Leesburg likes to get in the air there on those rebounds. I've noticed that. Again, with 2:40 left here, both teams going man-to-man.
Second chance basket by DeAndre Seward. Moss can't get the three to fall. Another offensive board for Armstrong. He'll take the three. That's not going to go either. Scramble for the rebound, and it's going to be a held ball. Possession Wolverines. So that'll count as an offensive rebound for them.
1:52 before halftime. Windermere really can't afford not to get those rebounds.
Nice work on defense by the Jackets, keeping the Wolverines on their toes. Goes out of bounds, deflected off of Seward. Buck 37 to go. Rebound to Graham after Armstrong falls to the ground, and nobody's buying it today. Devin Graham for three.
And a 12-point lead again for the Yellow Jackets. Actually 15, excuse me.
Jackets trying to make the play happen too fast. Wolverines will take it back from them. Under a minute. Darrell Armstrong is fouled on the putback. He'll go to the line and shoot two for the Wolverines. Foul is called against number 25, Akeem Nickerson. His first personal foul, the team's seventh.
Sub after the first shot. Yes, sir.
So Andre Carter gets his first 2 points of the ball game. Excuse me, Daryl Armstrong. That's his third and fourth points.
That'll go out of bounds off the Jackets. 21.9 seconds left in the half.
So an opportunity to cut the lead to 11, maybe even 10. Again, when you're down by over 10, that is your first go. You want to get the lead down under double digits. And not going to happen here. So Windermere not shooting very well, not able to really pick it up in the second quarter. Leesburg shooting well.
That takes us to the end of the second period, and it's a 31-18 ball game.
Arrow change.
As I correct the 3 points that I neglected to put at the bottom of your screen earlier. We'll take a quick break here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium as we wrap up the last game and a half of our 10th anniversary event, the Metro versus Florida Challenge. We'll take this opportunity to thank our partners who helped to make the Metro versus Florida Challenge possible. Our presenting sponsor is St. Germain Chiropractic Clinic and Burn Fat Orlando. St. Germain Chiropractic offers the best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida Orlando area. They can help you out with back and neck pain, headaches, auto accidents, slip and fall injuries, musculoskeletal conditions, and much more. Visit stgermainchiropractic.com. That's stgermainchiropractic.com. We also want to thank our friends at Burn Fat Orlando who challenge you to step on the scale and test out their money-back guarantee. If you don't lose weight within the first 10 days, they'll refund your money. Call 855-889-THIN. That's 855-889-THIN. We also want to thank Baptiste Orthodontics for their long-standing support of Orange County Public Schools, Apopka High School, and the Metro versus Florida Challenge. They are bracing you and our community for success. Stop by any of their 3 convenient Orlando area locations, including their newest right here in Apopka, for a free consultation on braces, clear aligners, Invisalign for children and adults, and much more. For more information, visit BaptisteOrthodontics.com. And we want to thank Elevate Orlando, a civic nonprofit that helps students to grow in character and life skills. They are inside the classroom in 14 Orange County partner schools, and they also spend more than half their time outside of school mentoring students. They have a 98% graduation rate, 96% post-secondary placement. See what more than 1,500 students have found to help them achieve success by visiting elevateorlando.com. And finally, we want to thank Apopka Commissioner Kyle Becker for his ongoing support of Apopka High School and the Metro versus Florida Challenge. For those of you joining us on our online webcast, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 6 minutes with the second half of Game 22 here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium from Apopka High School. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Barchi, the media director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge, here with Neil Fisher, ready to take you through the second half. Foul is called against number 1, Matt Richardson, his third personal foul. The team's first at the line shooting, DeAndre Seward.
Yeah, so Mark, again, looking at the stats here as we get started in the second half, nothing's really changed. Try to get these in a little bit easier than we did at the end of the first quarter, but Leesburg shooting 46% from the field, 12 of 26. Windermere 15%, 5 of 34. They're shooting 15% at the end of the first quarter. Leesburg with a slight advantage, 25 to 20 in rebounds. Windermere with a little bit of a rebound.
Darrell Armstrong picks up 3 for the Wolverines.
Windermere with 8 to 6 advantage in turnovers. And also, they've scored 5 points at the line on 8 attempts compared to Leesburg scoring 4 on 10. So again, Windermere just not shooting the ball well. Of course, I told you between the quarters, I heard Coach Grizzick getting on his team, yelling at them that they weren't moving.
DeAndre Seward with a 4th chance basket.
Have a seat, please. Flag 15.
Hand check is called against Mike Floyd, his first, the team's first.
Of course, if you are Windermere at this point, your first order of business is getting that lead down to 9 points under double digits.
Elliott York deflects the ball out of bounds.
Again, Leesburg, a very up and down team, and they don't just go up and down. They attack the basket every opportunity.
McLeod to Floyd for 3.
And there you see exactly what I'm talking about. So Windermere, in only its second year of existence, a state semifinalist.
Nice work by Sword there, getting the block and the rebound. Graham can't get it to go. Armstrong on the rebound. He's going to try to do something in transition. Gets his way to the paint, spins, releases, and it's too hot. But put back made by Darrell Armstrong. So good commitment to the follow through there. Didn't get it on the first try, but managed to follow his shot. That's just what they teach you to do in practice.
White 5.
Foul's called against number 5. Darrell Armstrong is third, the team's second this half. Armstrong may have been feeling a little adrenaline still from his time in the paint. Got a little too aggressive on the hand check there against McLeod. Nice work on the defense. Trey Moss with a Wolverine dunk.
So the first turnover we've seen in the second half. Again, Leesburg turned the ball over more than Windermere in the first half, but only 2 more.
DeAndre Seward with a dunk, the pass by Devin Graham, and 1. Fouls called against number 11. Trey Moss, his second personal foul, the team's third.
Wants to focus on the person who's standing 2 feet away from it, and then it doesn't refocus. It will eventually. No, Beer along for that one's on. You can fix it right away by just zooming in and zooming out real quick. Yeah, if you zoom in and zoom out, it fixes the focus. No, you don't even have to be all the way in, just a little bit each way.
That's right, it's
30-second timeout requested by Leesburg. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Wolverine's going to get the ball back.
So still trying to get that lead back down under 10, double digits. And again, Windermere has not been able to really improve their shooting.
Trey Moss for 3 from Elliott York. What's that about their shooting, Neil?
Maybe I should say it some more. I guess if you're a Windermere faithful.
Black 1, illegal screen.
Illegal screen is called against number 1, DeAndre Seward. His first, the team's second. Shire McLeod on the pass to Damani Nettles.
So as I mentioned in the first half, Mark, we've seen a number of games throughout this event where one team comes out flat, is not really able to find its footing for about a quarter, and then they rally despite falling behind. We have yet to see that really happening with Windermere.
30-second timeout, Windermere, 2:15 third.
Damani Nettles again, this time on the long pass across the court from McLeod, and we'll pause for a 30-second timeout requested by Windermere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Leesburg starting to pull away from the Wolverines here, and this is not going to help the cause. Out of bounds, Wolverines ball. Boy, Windermere got away with one there. That could have been real bad.
Yeah, could have gotten that lead all the way up to 18. So, and you know, Mark, you mentioned Windermere is one of two teams that have played 2 games in this event, Apopka being the other. And even though Windermere played as far apart as possible, playing the first game and then the second to last,
Crawford to Moss for 3.
you still have to wonder, though, if they're still a little tired, if not at least physically, maybe mentally.
I don't know, maybe they ate too much turkey.
Yeah, because, again, this does not look like the Windermere team that came out here Wednesday morning and put up a running clock.
Mike Floyd into the paint for 2.
Black 23.
Foul's called against number 23, Jair McLeod. That's his first personal foul. The team's third.
And Windermere just has not yet been able to find its stroke. Again, they came out, shot over 50% in that opening game, shooting 15% through the first 2 quarters here.
Moss to York for 3. Tell you what, Neil, that perimeter shooting is the only reason this is not a blowout.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just enough to keep them within shouting distance and give them, at least make the game interesting. But it's not really done anything to really cause any damage to the Leesburg cause or even give them reason to worry about that deficit being cut into.
Trey Moss picks up a long 2 on the jumper.
So again, Trey Moss, only a junior, Florida Hoops class of 21, only number 13. Again, showing you some of that dynamism.
Jump shot by Leesburg's number 25, Akeem Nickerson. Loose ball in the paint. Leesburg not able to take advantage, though. Rebound to Richardson. Elliott York.
So leading field goal shot there.
7.4 seconds left. If you see our clock jump around at the bottom of the screen, don't be alarmed. Our system is not synchronized with Apopka's because it's not compatible. So we try to keep it as close as we can, and then when we get toward the end of the period, we'll sync it up. So 7.4 was the correct answer. 15, that's Mike Floyd on the layup, and that'll be the last word of the third period. And it is an 11-point ball game. Jackets have led the whole time. The Wolverines not going quietly into the night. They are still in it. It's a 49-38 ball game. 11 points to make up for Windermere with 8 minutes left to play here in game number 22 of the 10th annual Metro versus Florida Challenge.
back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Mark Archie and Neil Fisher ready to take you to the finish line here. Oh, it wanted to and it did.
Darrell Armstrong gets the jumper to go in to open up fourth quarter scoring for the Wolverines.
So
That takes it to a 9-point ball game, and here comes the transition play. That is Miller to Nickerson in motion for 2.
Yeah, Mark, and that baseline has been wide open all night. Again, I don't think you need to be a basketball guru. Certainly got a pattern going.
Trey Moss is fouled behind the arc. He'll go to the line and shoot 3. Foul is called against Leesburg's number 23. Jaron McLeod is second, the team's 4th.
So Trey Moss with 13 points.
Did he make the first one?
Did they make the first one?
5 of 13, 5 of 13 from the field. This is his first free throw attempts. Two or 3 from the line. Again, Mark, Windermere's doing just enough to stay within shouting distance, but not really giving Windermere anything to worry about. I mean, Leesburg anything to worry about.
Tamani Nettles on the second chance basket.
So the shooting has gotten much better for Windermere. Again, they were only at 15% at halftime. But again, they can't seem to stop Leesburg on the other end.
Nice work on defense, but it'll go out of bounds off the Wolverines. Leesburg will keep the ball here. It's just 6:56 remaining in the ball game. Open shot left for Graham, not able to take advantage of it. Rebound bounces to Held. We'll go the other way.
Both teams remaining in man-to-man defense. Leesburg got away with a foul there. Some pretty strong contact underneath the hoop.
Timeout, Yellow Jackets.
30-second timeout.
30-second timeout.
22 in the fourth.
This will be the last 30-second timeout we take tonight. That will leave the Wolverines with 2 full timeouts and the Yellow Jackets with 3 full timeouts. Double team leaves an opening for Seward. He spins and he is going to get called with a charge. Offensive charge is called against DeAndre Seward. That's his second personal foul, the team's 5th. That was taken by Darrell Armstrong.
Yeah, I think we had some embellishment there by Armstrong. Nonetheless, a lot of contact still.
Matt Richardson gets 2 for the Wolverines. Graham to Nettles. Haas gets to his feet, can't get the jumper to go. Elliott York is fouled on the putback attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two.
Black 20, black 20. Yes, sir.
Foul's called against number 20. Damani Nettles is third, the team seventh.
And Windermere is in the bonus, so perhaps maybe they can take advantage of that, of the bonus. They haven't been able to really do much in any of the other statistical categories tonight. So as I mentioned, Windermere's done enough to keep the score close enough to still win and interesting, around 10 points, but nothing to really give worry to Leesburg.
Elliott York steals two, and I don't know what that was.
So now they finally might be able to give some cause to worry for Leesburg, and no, they don't.
Now Leesburg gets away with one there. That was... If I'd been paying attention, I could have gotten up from the score table and stolen that pass.
Good call. That's a very good call.
Illegal screen is called against DeAndre Sword. That's his third personal foul, the team's eighth. No bonus shots on team control fouls, but it'll turn the ball over to the Wolverines, and we'll pause for a full timeout requested by Leesburg. That'll leave each team with 2 full timeouts remaining.
Full timeout. Leesburg. Full.
All right, welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Sorry we lost a little bit of footage there because nobody was ready, most notably the Jackets. We actually had, let's see, let me get the right player here. It was... Well, regardless, the Wolverines picked up a free layup there because the Jackets were napping. We weren't ready to come back from the timeout. The Wolverines were. They put the ball in play. They got the layup. Everyone was caught off guard, including us at the score table, so we didn't come back from break.
Well, most importantly, though, Windermere seems to have gotten over that hump. It seemed to be 7-6 points. They kept cutting the lead down to 9 and 8, but couldn't get that next basket. And looking real quick here, Windermere actually is shooting now 27% from the field. I realize that might still sound horrible, but they were shooting 15% for the first 2.5 quarters. Leesburg remains very consistent at 50%. Leesburg's problem has been 17 turnovers.
DeAndre Seward is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot two. The foul is called against number 1. Matt Richardson, that's his 4th personal foul, the team's 5th.
So Seward with 14 points here.
How many total points? Okay, how about for 10?
He is 6 of 6 from the field, 2 of 7 from the line.
Does 10 have 16 or 18?
So now Seward with 15 points. Makes it a 3-possession game at 7 points.
Trey Moss for 2.
A beautiful reversal there using what he was given. So now a 5-point game, and suddenly Windermere is coming to life on defense.
Offensive charge is called against number 23, Jair McLeod. That's his 3rd personal foul, the team's 8th. No bonus shots on team control fouls, but it turns the ball over to the Wolverines.
18th turnover for Windermere, and again, those turnovers really has been what allowed Windermere to stay within about 10 points for almost the entire game. Now an opportunity to cut this deficit down to 1 possession.
Foul's called against number 1, Matt Richardson. That's his 5th personal foul, and he'll retire from the game with 4 points and 2 rebounds. Checking in for him will be number 15, Jordan Crawford.
So, Mark, given that Leesburg's led this whole game, even though Leesburg does have 6 more turnovers, it seems that they are far less critical than Windermere's. That was a critical one to Windermere because it could have cut the lead down to 1 possession.
Nickerson on the pass to DeAndre Seward.
A 4-point turnaround. Time is running short for Windermere. Had an opportunity to cut the lead down to 1 possession. 2 possessions ago, got a foul instead. Richardson fouls out. Leesburg comes down at the other end, does a double man draw, kicks the ball across the paint, and we got an open shot and a 4-point turnaround.
Second chance basket made by DeAndre Seward. Nice work under the net, block and rebound by Akeem Nickerson. And this one is starting to slip away from the Wolverines. Boy, you got to give them credit for keeping it interesting. Now they'll foul on purpose to get the ball to the free throw line. Hold is called against number 10. Elliott York, his 2nd personal foul, the team's 7th. Checking into the game for Armstrong is number 24. Jaden Golston at the line shooting 1-1, Mike Floyd.
So Leesburg only 6 of 14 at the line, but again, doesn't seem to really have done much harm to them as they shoot 50% from the field. Floyd with 8 points now.
Caught itself up. Caught itself up.
And we'll stop the clock, or we'll stop the game for a moment to just make sure that everything's okay with the scoreboard. The scoreboard here at Apopka has occasional wireless connectivity issues where the time is being kept accurately by the controller, but it does not always relay that information in a timely manner to the board on the wall, which makes the referees concerned that something is wrong, even though it's not.
In the meantime, the game rages on.
Hakeem Nickerson is fouled on the attempt. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Foul is called against Wolverines, number 5. Darrell Armstrong, that's his 4th personal foul. It's the team's 8th.
So Nickerson with 7 points. He is 2 of 8 from the field, but 3 of 4 from the free throw. Make that 4 of 5 now. And 8 points. So 1 minute left here. And it looks like this time the team that has only 6 players scoring is going to actually win the ball game. Of course,
basket by number 24, Jaden Golson is good. He'll be at the line shooting at the 3-point play. On DeAndre Seward called on his 4th personal foul.
Of course, Windermere only has 5 players scoring, so
out of bounds, Wolverines ball. Trey Moss picks up the basket and will pause for a Wolverine timeout as the Windermere team cuts the lead to 6.
Full timeout, Windermere.
Full timeout requested by the Wolverines. All right, welcome back. 42.2 seconds remaining. Wolverines still think they got a shot at this. They're playing to win.
they got a foul here. I'm not sure why they let about 10 seconds come off the clock.
Full timeout is requested by and granted to the Yellow Jackets. We'll pause here with 33.2 seconds remaining. It's a 6-point ball game. Here's your game reset. Neither team has a foul to give. We got double bonus in favor of the Wolverines, regular 1-and-1 bonus in favor of the Yellow Jackets. Watching fouls, we have DeAndre Seward with 4, Tamani Nettles with 3, and Jair McLeod with 3 on the Leesburg side. Darrell Armstrong has 4 on the Wolverines side, and of course Richardson fouled out earlier. Timeouts remaining. We have 2 fulls left for the Wolverines and 1 left for the Jackets.
1-and-1.
Strikeout 1 each remaining. Leading scorers, DeAndre Seward has 17 points, 10 rebounds. He's got the double-double for the Jackets. Devontae Nettles, 10 points, 4 rebounds. Mike Floyd, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Jaron McLeod, 14 points, 6 rebounds. On Windermere side, Trey Moss has 19 points and 3 rebounds. York has 18 to lead. Hakeem Nickerson is fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot bonus.
Have a seat.
Foul's called against number 24, Jaden Golston. That's his first personal foul. The team's ninth at the line shooting is Hakeem Nickerson.
So Nickerson with 7 points. Only 2 of 8 from the field, but 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Lead back up to 3 possessions now. I think that's just going to do it there, that offensive rebound.
Double bonus. Double bonus. Right 24.
Foul's called against number 24, Jaden Golston, now his second, the team's 10th. Shooting double bonus, Devin Graham.
So Graham with 3 points now. Only 1 of 5 from the field. These are his first free throws. And so again, Windermere got off to a horrible start shooting the ball. They did look very lethargic and wound up shooting 15% as we got a real bad call here. 15% from the field. They did get a little bit higher here in the third quarter, all the way up to 27. But again, Leesburg came out of the gate shooting 50%, never dropped.
Foul called against number 20, Devontae Nettles, his fourth. At the line shooting double bonus, Trey Moss.
You add to that field goal percentage a 37-29 advantage about midway through the fourth quarter. And you got the perfect recipe for a Leesburg victory.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Windermere for staying in it. It's that early damage that they did that just turned out to be too much to overcome.
Of course, we did talk about Windermere cutting that lead. I guess it was about 3 minutes ago, about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the game, to 5 points. They came down and they committed a foul. You go down the other end, Leesburg gets an easy deuce on a cross-the-court pass and a 4-point swing. And that was really the last chance that Windermere had. But again, you do wonder how much energy was taken out, not just physically, but mentally, in order for Windermere to be able to get that lead back down to 5. And then, of course, getting that close and not actually being able to, for lack of a better way to put it, get over the hump of cutting that lead to 1 possession.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We've got one more for you before we wrap up tonight. It's scheduled for a 9 o'clock start. We're going to be just about on time for that, too. It's between Ocoee and Central Florida Christian Academy, and it will take us to the finish line here at the Metro versus Florida Challenge.
Scott, I said we didn't have to play this game because Metro can't win yet. We're going to skip the last one.
It's not the World Series or the Stanley Cup. So Windermere's still trying to strategically, employing strategic. They haven't given it up yet, although They are going to have to get a couple turnovers here and a little bit of luck at the free throw line. And well, that's going to do it, I think.
Yeah, referees are just not going to call that foul because why prolong the inevitable? That takes us to the end of the ball game. And it's a 64-59 final here at game number 22. We've got one more to go, and we hope that we will see you there in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for coming out to support your Windermere and Leesburg athletes tonight. Thanks also to those of you who tuned in on our YouTube channel, Metro versus Florida Challenge. We hope that you'll stick with us for the last game between Ocoee and Central Florida Christian Academy. If you are watching online, make sure you exit out of this live stream and get into the one remaining live stream we have. We'll see you in about 10 minutes.